Hello, everyone. This is Yvonne and Lyle. Welcome to our true crime podcast today.
Come on right along, let me tell you a tale.
Big hello to all of our listeners. Thanks for tuning in. This week's episode is about firsts. You know, if you think back to your first day on the job, or maybe your first day in school, or maybe the first time you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, those firsts can be a little bit scary, intimidating, and maybe hilarious, depending upon how things go. So I hope that you'll listen to this episode and see some of the humor in it that I do now, looking back many years later. Next week, we anticipate returning with a normal full length episode, as this one's just a little bit short. But all the same, hope you enjoy and be safe out there.
Hi, welcome to Walking the Blue Line. We thought we would talk today about first. Everyone has a first something. And so, how about Lyle, you tell us about your very first traffic stop?
I've got a lot of years in law enforcement, and I actually started in the security police law enforcement of the U.S. Air Force. I had joined the Air National Guard over in Montana, and we were on a deployment. So I was fresh out of high school, had gone through the academy for the U.S. Air Force, and we deployed down to Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, and we were down there doing a couple of weeks of annual duty. So they blended us into the police force that was already there on the base.
So, were you scared?
Well, I wasn't scared at first, but I am pretty young. I was pretty new at it.
And how old were you?
Like 18, 19 years old.
And how old do you have to be a cop not in the military?
Most everywhere is 21 years old.
We're 18 at this point.
Right out of high school almost, where I had just finished my training at San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base, and we got this chance to go down to Florida for a couple of weeks and help out with different duties on the base. One of the things that the security police do for military is regulate those people that can come on and go off of the base. This was one of the first duties that they had given us. I went out, spent like my morning working one of the gates and flagging people through, checking IDs, issuing visitor passes, all of that kind of stuff.
Exciting stuff.
Exciting. Very exciting. You see all generals coming through and all of the pilots and such, and they're officers. And for those of you that don't know anything about the military, officers are kind of the management, the admin, and then you've got the enlisted people, the grunts. I wasn't a grunt. I was
low man on the totem pole.
Yes, yeah. Well, especially when you come right out of basic. I mean, airman first class maybe. And so I'm maybe 2 steps up the totem pole on a very tall totem pole. I'm kind of hanging out down at the bottom, swimming at the shallow end of the gene pool. So I don't know anything. I haven't been doing this very long, haven't really done it in real life, but they stick me out there all by myself. And then midway through the day, they want to give us some relief. Let us come in for lunch, do something different than stand at this gate all day. So they sent my relief out. And he brings a patrol car, and this is like one of the first times I get to drive a patrol car all by myself.
Exciting.
Exciting. It was, yeah.
I'll be excited.
Right. They typically don't turn you loose with that kind of stuff. You go out with a trainer and all of that. But since we were only there for a couple of weeks, we didn't get a lot of that initial training that regular police would get.
So did you get to go patrol the base?
Got to go patrol the base a couple of times, but on this particular day for my first traffic stop, I was just headed from point A to point B. They told me, get the patrol car at the gate and drive it back to the station, where then I would get a chance to go take my lunch. But as typical with Florida, it's either sunny or it's raining, and it was a very rainy day. It was a little bit in the afternoon, so it was kind of getting dusk out, actually, by the time I was finished, or at this point in my shift. And I see this van driving down the road, all suspicious on an Air Force base, right?
No security at all.
No security there at all. Yeah, they just let everybody on there.
Yeah.
This van doesn't have any taillights whatsoever. It's a little actually hard to see in the rain and such. I kind of get the idea in my mind as well, I should probably stop this person and tell them. There's no way I'm going to write a ticket. That's like paperwork and such. But
You don't have to do yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I have never done that before either. So at the very least, I'll make traffic stops. I muster up all of my courage to get on the radio, first of all, and say, hey, I'm conducting a traffic stop, which I don't think my flight chief, the supervisor, expected me to be doing. Put out my location, license plate number, reason for the stop. You actually have to give a reason why you're pulling someone over. So I say, no taillights. And I initiate my traffic stop, and the van pulls over into a parking lot, and I go to get out, and about this time I realize my knees are a little bit shaky, It was like, I've never done this before, and what if this person does something, and all of the things that I haven't really thought through in my mind. And these windows are a little bit dark tinted, I can't really see what's going on up there, but I get it all together, walk up, and the lady who's driving rolls down the window, and I have a soccer mom with 4 kids in there, and I probably nervously, can I have your driver's license, registration, military ID?
She probably was feeling the same way.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel when I'm pulled up.
Exactly. I mean, everybody's scared because the cops are
Nobody
pulling
wants
them.
a ticket.
And then she's going to have to explain this ticket to her husband when she gets home, right? We hope that you're enjoying today's podcast.
And if you are, please like, subscribe, and share.
And in the military, it isn't like civilian where you just go pay a fine, or actually you can test it in court. Your first sergeant gets involved in these kind of things. So nobody wants a ticket because your commander is going to hear about it. She's probably thinking my husband is going to kill me or something to that effect.
Obviously, she wasn't in a uniform or anything, so
No,
she was
military. She's married to someone who's stationed there, and she's a dependent. So I explained to her that the reason I'm pulling her over is because of her taillights being out, and with the rain and everything, she was a little difficult to see. And she's super cooperative, and is like, oh, thank you so much, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I'll be right back. So second part that I've never done before is check somebody's name on the air. Well, this isn't like a real big violation. I can see she's got a driver's license. I could see she's got her dependent ID card. So I'm not even going to bother with this because I'm
already nervous.
And figuring that my flight chief is going to rip me a new one.
What are you doing out there?
Right.
Give you the car for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and you're going crazy. Thank goodness it wasn't the general's daughter or something like that.
I wouldn't envy you then.
Yeah, so I write all of her information down, and then go back up and give her driver's license and a registration and such back, and say, well, you just need to concentrate on getting this fixed, and I hope that you have a good day. Oh, thank you very much. And she is on her way, and I went back to my car and about collapsed.
If I'm doing that again,
But then I got to go back and brag to my buddy.
Hey, I pulled somebody
over. I'm big cheese now.
Was this your best friend Rob, or was this somebody else?
No, Rob was there. Rob and I have been friends in grade school, high school, college, joined the military together, and he was on this deployment too. I had to go back and brag to Rob.
Rub it in just a little bit that you were the first one.
Got to make my first traffic stop. All the excitement that went with it.
You and Rob have a slight competition going.
Yes, we do. We like to keep things lively occasionally. And, it's always good to be the first. Well, actually, not always, because then you're going to be the first to screw up when you do something wrong.
Well, that has to be a first, yeah. Or you don't learn anything.
Exactly.
Say you learn the most when you mess up.
Right. Yep. Good judgment comes from bad decisions. Bad decisions come from bad judgment. So.
And you learn what not to do pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually.
But hey, that was my first traffic stop. It would be 3 years or so later before I would ever get the chance to do that again, when I became an employee at the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. But I had that one under my belt, and it was kind of fun to look back on. Very nerve-wracking at the time.
So we'd like to conclude this one.
Let us know if there's anything in particular that you have questions about, comments that you'd like to make, answers to any of your questions. Thanks for joining us today on Walking the Blue Line.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
From our hearts to yours, we hope